Hello guys, I recently started a new visual novel called The House in Fata Morgana. Most of you guys have probably already played it since it is really popular online, but I never had the time to play it until now. I also plan on making a review about each door, since I need to finally start making some actual videos on this channel. This video is about the first door, the Rose Manor. I hope that you guys will enjoy it. Let's start with the maid. We don't really know anything about her character right now. We know that she is loyal to the nameless protagonist, and they most likely had a deep connection before the protagonist had an amnesia. I'm also guessing that the voice calling out to him in the prologue was a maid, since there really aren't any better guesses right now. She is also the one who is trying to make him remember his past, and he said that he will come back to a certain person in the prologue. She also seems to be immortal since she always has died in the mansion, even before Mel and Nellie were born. Then Maid is a really mysterious character and I can't wait to find out more about her. And yeah, she's also fucking hot and I love her design. Love these got mates. The time period for the first door is 1603. I really enjoyed reading this story. This setting was great and I learned some new things about history. I didn't know that there was something like this golden age since it was never taught in my history class, or if class I just had forgotten since I hadn't had history for years. But it was interesting. It's always very interesting to see completely different time periods from our own. It really gives you a perspective. The main story of this door was the romance between Mer and the white-haired girl. The romance made me really happy until the twist was revealed. Yeah, the twist wasn't nice. The writing here was amazing, and Fata honestly has one of the best romances and slice of lives in visual novels. And I only have done the first arc. I have no idea what will even happen after this, but if it's so good already, then whew. This is what amazing prose can really do. It can make anything be entertaining, even something as mundane as this. While I was reading, I really wanted for both of them to get together, even if I know that this would become a tragedy eventually. I was getting hyped up when Mel finally got the white-haired girl to admit her feelings for him, and I really wish that they could have stayed together. And then the twist happened, and yeah, not good. Mary was pretty cute at the start. She was the usual broken little sister character, and I usually like them. They are pretty entertaining, and yeah, and then yeah, the white wig scene happened, and man, it was hard to read that scene. I paused the game for an hour in the middle of that scene. I fucking couldn't stomach kick. I didn't want to read it at all. These sister genders are fucking scary, man. That scene was unsettling as hell. It wasn't hot at all. Fuck it. And fuck her for doing all of this. If only white-haired girl wasn't his sister and none of this would have happened. Nelly would have just rage about Nell loving another woman, and that would have been it. Everything would have been dandy for those two. But yeah. The half sister twist hit really hard. It was brilliantly set up, even if I didn't figure it out until we saw the painting. There were some well placed hints in the story already. The revelation fucked up everything. It turned Neri into a psycho and then ruined Merce and white-haired girl's relationship. Fuck their mother for not saying anything to her kids honestly. All this could have been avoided if she didn't hide the truth from them. It was a hint that the father already knew about this, so there was no reason to hide it from those three. And now all three of them are fucked up for life. Mel and Nelly will never be loving siblings ever again, and Mel will never get back his girlfriend. It's heartbreaking. The ending was so fucking painful. This chapter tried to paint Mary in a negative light, but I don't believe that he is that bad of a dude. Most of us who had started insulting a person as well if you assume that they wanted something from you after all the stuff that happened to Mary in the previous chapter. He was breaking mentally. Can't really hold that outburst of anger against him in my opinion, even if it fucked up his relationship with the white-haired girl even more. It's a human nature. This door ended with a white-haired girl leaving Mer and Carson her sin, which was falling in love with Mer. This was honestly heartbreaking to witness. I had grown attached to their characters even if the door was short. I wished for them to get together, but sadly their fate wasn't so kind. Sometimes life is just too hard. White-haired girl was already nervous about her relationship with Mer, so Nelly's and Mer's actions in the last two chapters lowered her willpower even more. Not everyone gets a happy ending in life, and these three characters sadly were some of those people. They were struck by a tragedy. Another thing that I liked about this doll was white-haired girl's tale about the girl acting at over. The tale parallels with white-haired girl's character. If everything continued like it was supposed to, then Mel and white-haired girl would have gotten married, and Mel would be the prince that saved her from an awful and lonely fate. However, the cars at which of the mansions struck and brought them a tragedy instead. White-haired girl's farewell, in which she talked about the towers girl not sending the prince a letter, broke me. She had chosen the bad ending, in which the girl doesn't get the courage to send a letter and instead stays locked up in her prison forever. She didn't get the courage to choose her happy fate. My rating for this doll is 8.25, and I will probably increase it to a 8.5 after I read more of Fata and get some recontextualization since I really love this experience. I'm just being careful. Mare and white-haired girl already became characters that I really like, even if they only had a few hours of screen time. I really hope that they return in a future arc, but it doesn't seem likely. See you again on the next Doors review, guys. This will probably come out later this week if I read it as fast as I did Door 1. Bye.